the early 90s, Street Fighter 2 was taking in more money than GameSpot at a PR event, so naturally everyone and their mother piled onto the bandwagon. One of the most forgettable fighting games of this era was Street Combat on the SNES. You take control of Steve, who looks like a Wish.com version of Sega's Rent-A-Hero, and take it upon yourself to start doing combat against people on the street. Although sometimes it's not a street, it's actually a forest or someone's back garden. These things could be forgiven if what was presented here was a good fighting game. However, what gamers are forced to endure here really puts a lack into lackluster. Painfully generic characters mixed in with a few utterly bonkers ones, stiff controls, and a bizarre bonus round which seems completely out of place. In fact, the whole game lacks any sort of design cohesion whatsoever, and just feels like random elements slammed together like some sort of violent lucky dip. However, there is good reason for the utter randomness of Street Combat, and that's because it's a reskin of Ranma Half Chunai Geki 2 Hen that was released in Japan a few months earlier for the Super Famicom. Now, Ranma was an incredibly popular anime in Japan at the time, and was the work of Rumiko Takahashi, also responsible for the ludicrously popular Urusei Yatsura. But when you actually play Ranma on the Super Famicom, you can see now how the seemingly random fighters in Street Combat came to be. The weird clown with maracas in Street Combat? Actually a reskin of aerobic Ranma character Kodachi. The painfully generic G.I. Jim? That's really just kendo fighter Kuno. What about the seemingly out-of-place bonus round? Well, that little goblin thing is actually just out-of-control panty thief Hapasai. So what we've ended up with is an average anime fighting game turned into a complete mess because the publisher thought a bland generic game would sell better than one based off an anime. This was proven to be completely wrong when later that year a different Ranma fighting game called Ranma Hard Battle made its way west with little to no changes. Well, unless you count the hideous American box art where Ranma's face has been swapped out with someone else's entirely.